everyone. Welcome to the Niche Girls podcast. I'm Jessie.
I'm Yolanda.
I'm Kristen.
And today we're going to talk about some pet peeves for Disney, theme parks in general.
Yes.
This is going to be a super fun episode about pet peeves. There are so many out there. You don't even realize that it's a pet peeve until you get annoyed by it in the park and you're like, oh my God, that's really annoying.
Yeah.
And there you go. Pet peeve created.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know. So it's going to be fun. Do you guys have any, like, right off the top of your heads that you can think of?
I mean, I do.
Yes.
Like, yeah?
Mine, Kristen might actually disagree with or can explain to me. So because it
Is
does
it about strollers?
No, it's not strollers. So mine is when you've waited an hour plus holding your fireworks spot and then a kid goes up in front of you because I am
On the shoulders?
5'3". So I had this person next to me the last time I went to Magic Kingdom to see the end of Enchantment. He was so kind and he held his kid on his lap so that her head was here with his head. And I said, wow, this is so considerate. It was fascinating to me. Because it's really, I understand that Disney is for children, and I completely understand that. I'm not discounting that it is a park for children. However, I think that is such a kinder way to do it, to put them on your hip and to view next to you, because like I said, I can't control that your husband is 6'3", right? And that I have a very average height partner. But like when your 6'3" husband then adds an extra 4 feet to him, and I've seen, because obviously like toddlers, babies, right? Okay. I've seen like 7-year-olds get lifted onto the shoulders.
Oh,
and when you have staked
They're
out a spot, I
tall.
often stake out a spot pretty early, especially if I'm with my mom, because she does use a wheelchair. So it is very frustrating when I'll find what I think is a clear spot for her to be able to see the projections on the castle, and then a kid goes up, and now she's completely blocked. And I just recently found out about the wheelchair viewing at Magic Kingdom, and we used that last time to watch Enchantment, and it was amazing because she had a clear view. But literally prior to this year, I didn't realize that existed for free and you didn't need a fast pass. So yeah, that's mine. And I hope it is understandable for parents. But yeah, I am not tall. So I try to really plan ahead with my firework time. I am a big fan of fireworks and I usually wait a really long time for them. So
yeah, I hear that pet peeve, and I'm a parent, but I don't do that because I think this goes into a larger pet peeve, which is actually my pet peeve, which is just like crowds and people in general. Because okay, so here's the thing, like everybody has paid a ton of money to be there, right? Like some people have paid more, some people have paid less, but it doesn't matter. Like you're paying a ton of money and you want to have a certain experience, so you kind of stop caring that the person behind you can't see because your child can't see, and that you have like tunnel vision that like, this is going to ruin my trip, I have to make sure my child sees, and you block out the thousands and thousands of people standing around you. Maybe because I've been coming here my whole life and I'm local, like I don't have that anymore. Like I'm very cognizant of the fact that I am lucky to be here. I'm lucky to be here all the time. My children are lucky because we just went down on a Wednesday one day, or like we can just come whenever we want. So like I don't have that. Like I have to see it. My child has to see it and forget everybody else around me. But I think that that's where that comes from. And I would like just implore people like just you know, just make sure the person in back of you can see, you know, it's not that big of a deal. And you know, that's especially same thing, like people don't realize that maybe for like a, not really so much for all the shows, I'm trying to think, but like for some of them, like you do need to see the projections on the castle, you do need to kind of get there a little bit earlier if you want a spot. So like you can't just at like 5'2" be like expect to just wedge your way in. So you know,
I do feel very similar as well. It goes on the same track about iPad people. And this goes for all shows. Because this doesn't happen just at fireworks. This happens at entertainment shows. If you're one of the people who holds up an iPad, if you're FaceTiming someone, you're FaceTiming your family in another country, I can see it. But when you're recording it, I promise you with my entire heart that there is a better video on YouTube. Hand to God, there is a Disney Parks beautiful recording 4K of every fireworks show on YouTube.
Send them that link. Send them the link.
Yep.
You don't
Okay?
need to block
Yep.
everybody's
You don't
view.
need it.
Yeah.
I promise you don't need it. Save the battery. Okay, enjoy the moment. Also, like, it just goes to recording in general. I understand that we're in the parks all the time, so it's different. But like from 2014 to now, the amount of like that's when my DCP was to now, the amount of more phones that I see during fireworks shows. And I know you
Oh
want to
yeah.
put on your stories and everything, but just try to remember to take that moment to just like be
Yeah.
there because it's always going to be more beautiful through your eyes and not your phone. So, but yeah, the iPad people are the same as kid on the shoulder. Just
That
Yeah.
Yeah, that also falls into line with my pet peeve. So also during fireworks shows, people that use their flash, okay?
Just on rides too. It's a dark ride.
The
What are you
flash.
doing?
Okay, turn off your flash. You
please
can't
on
see
Haunted
anything with your
Mansion,
flash.
don't have the. Please don't do this to
You're
me.
you're flat you're flashing other people's heads at a fireworks show. So you're not even getting the castle because it's going to be pitch black because you're going to get the person's head in front of you or the person's phone in front of you. On top of that, there's a blinding light behind me or in front of me, blinding me so that I can't see.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to watch with my eyeballs.
It's
Literally.
Okay.
inconsiderate.
I was like, what? And then yes, Haunted Mansion, even like Little Mermaid. Like,
It
hello,
ruins a
just don't
lot
put
of
your
light
flash on.
effects and it ruins the ride for other people when you also
Yeah.
Turn
when
it
you do flash
off.
photography. Also another thing about like flash photography is that some people have like epilepsy, they have issues with flashes, and
Yeah,
when you do that unexpectedly it can cue people's
Yeah.
responses to those things. So it's just,
yeah,
I think it goes like kind of what Kristen was saying about how, people, they've paid their money and they feel entitled to be there for them,
yeah.
but the flash on rides and yeah.
Yeah. And
Flash on rides, flash at shows, any show. It's like I've had to turn around multiple times, be like, "Hey, I'm so sorry. Can you actually turn your flash off?" Like because
Yeah.
I can't
yeah.
see, or the
Yep.
people next to me are like complaining, like, "Oh my god, the person behind me had their flash on," and they're like trying to say it loud and annoying and obnoxious. Meanwhile, I'm just turning around like, "Hi, can you please turn that off? Thank you so much. I really
Jesse's like,
appreciate it."
Very gently, if you could maybe not, that would be awesome.
Ugh.
yeah. Yeah, and I
Ugh.
mean, listen, everybody has paid a lot of money to be there. Everybody is
Yeah,
entitled to have a great magical experience, but it's like,
Yes.
but the flash is not going to help that.
yeah, it's just you still are on Earth. You're still a member of the human race, whether you're
Yeah,
at home, whether you're in Disney World, like we still have
Yes.
to look out for one another. So just like
yeah,
be cool, just turn the
Yeah.
flash off. Like don't
yeah.
don't do that.
Literally.
Yeah, and I will say I have had some of the older folks that are like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Like, can you help me turn it off?" By all means, I will
Oh, of course.
absolutely help
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Let me help
Yeah.
you make your photos, make your videos better because that flash is not helping you at all.
Yes.
I will
Nothing.
happily
Yeah.
show you how to turn it off, or I will do it myself.
Yeah,
Just
there's
ask.
something very
Yeah.
different about, like,
Yeah.
someone who doesn't know that, like, I had
Yes.
no idea it was on, than, like, belligerently being like, "Flash in your face," so
Yes.
Yep.
I get it.
I know. And then on top of that, when it comes, you were saying crowds, Kristen. Um, I also have a pet peeve of crowds, but I understand Disney is busy. There's going to be crowds. I get that. My pet peeve is when the cast members are doing their job, which I know that they're doing their job, which bless the cast members, they're amazing. But please don't sardine me next to somebody that is 7 foot and they're sweaty. I
Really?
don't want to touch them. I don't
Yeah.
want to touch.
Yeah.
Please move all the way forward. Okay, I literally
Yeah,
have like
A step.
12 inches in front
I
of
am
me.
forward.
I'm not gonna get on their butt. It's just I'm not doing
Yeah.
That's
that.
forward. That's
I was hoping that after COVID, that would kind of stop, that, like, please fill in all the available space, because that was magical when the parks opened after COVID, and it was
It
like,
was amazing.
they were keeping everybody
oh, the
apart. I
6
was like,
feet was
"This is
top.
amazing."
I could breathe.
And I was just
Hmm.
hoping that, like, we had moved past that as a Disney society, like, that
No.
you
Yeah,
don't wanna be, like, right up against someone, but no, they did it to us.
yeah,
We were in Animal Kingdom the other day, and it was like, "Please move all the way down." I don't wanna sit on the person I don't wanna sit in their lap.
Yeah, no.
Like, I don't want to
No.
do that. I need to, like, have not a
A
lot, just
little room. A little
a
room.
little bit
just
Yeah.
of room, and they're like,
a
"Move over," and I'm like,
personal
"I'm
space.
honestly over as far as I can go." Like, there's nothing
Yeah,
more I can do here.
Yeah. I think in general too,
yeah,
since like post COVID, people have just gotten a little bit more aggressive after being with themselves for a year. And
Absolutely.
I can understand it, but it is very hurtful. And like I said, like with my mom in a wheelchair, like people just are very impatient. They're very pushy. As after the fireworks, like you said about the crowds, like people literally like step over. Like if I can issue you one please in terms of the crowds, like when the fireworks release or when a big show releases, like just remember that wheelchairs exist because like they need to get through. But also, yeah, in terms of the like funneling that Disney does too, there's a lot of funnels.
Ugh.
If there's
Yes.
a big release, if there's a like merch release, a new ride opening, everything, people can just be
Everything.
like just wildly rude. And
Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't know how you can be that rude to another person, but yeah, it goes back to the crowd thing is when the cast members are kind of making you people get very shovey and like just maybe don't touch me. Don't touch other people. You don't know. But
Don't
yeah,
touch
the
other
shovey
people.
is like
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. It is wild.
It is
It is.
wild. Yeah.
Okay. I have another pet
Another one?
peeve that I
Let's
think
do
you
it.
all might agree with. And this one's easy. We can talk about this in 5 seconds. Are you ready? It is
Yeah.
that normally a line in Disney is at least 30 minutes, right? Okay.
Yep.
So when you get to the front, this will save everyone so much time. I need you to know how many people are in your party. Okay. That's it. That's the
Yeah.
pet peeve. That's the pet peeve. You would have no idea how much it slows down a line. I've gotten to sit next to like David and my friends in Test Track in the Harry Potter ride at Universal because in the single rider line, the people next to me, Harry Potter and Universal is a never ending walkway, right? In the single
Yeah.
rider line, people won't know next to them how many people are in their party. And the ride's like an hour, the line's like an hour long. I'll get to ride with someone, but like you got people don't realize how much it's holding up the line when you get up there and you're like, 1, 2, and you're just be ready. You have
Yeah.
so much time in the line. Be ready.
You
Know
just
how many
waited 30
people.
minutes at least.
Yeah. Even if you
You should
waited
know.
5 minutes, it takes 5 seconds to count the members of
Be
your
ready.
party. And isn't it
Okay.
the same all
Even
day? I mean, maybe it varies a little bit. I know like sometimes my kids don't go on something and
yeah.
whatever, but like, I mean, come
Be ready.
on.
Be
I
ready. Be ready,
agree.
or even have your fingers ready. If you're in a conversation, right?
That's what we do. Yeah, I'll be
Have
yelling
it
at my
Too.
kids,
prepared.
and then I'll be like, we're four, you know? Yeah.
So, anyways, that's mine. It's a quick one.
No, that's a good one. Going along with that one, my other one is when like and so this is a two-part one. People will hold a spot in line. Like you'll have people kind of like get in the line before you and then my party enters, but then like there's six more people that then like cut in front of us to meet their person. Like I
Yep.
understand, but at the same time like I'm a party of 4. If you have like a party of 10 or something and there's only 2 of you up there, the 2 of you should meet the 8 of you in the back. I'm sorry. The
Yes.
8 of you should not pass up my party of 4. Now, if it's like there's one person and then like there's one person in back of my party of 4, then by all means, that one person go up, meet the other person in front. But like, dude, if you have a bigger party than my party, get behind me. Get
Yes.
behind
Yep.
me. Do not save a spot for 18 people. Don't do that. Just get behind
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. No, I completely agree with that one. That has happened to me so many times. And it's like a lot of those lines are small. They're really
Yes.
close quartered.
Yes.
So you're like trying to shove yourself to the side of the wall to let these 10 people go through. And I'm like, where are you coming
Yeah.
from? Like, why were you on another ride? Because if you were on another ride, like your 2 people in your party should not be in front of me.
Yeah.
You were just
Exactly.
enjoying another ride.
Yeah.
Don't make me wait 10 more minutes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Especially if it's like we've all been there, just one of us, like on a ride, whether to get footage or just to enjoy it.
Yeah.
And then you have
Yeah.
10 people cutting you one person. Come on.
One.
And you're like,
I
yeah.
don't
Yep.
know. Mm-mm.
I have
That
a similar like thing
irritates
that
the
goes
hell
with
out of
the
me.
holding. And I think this is just something that Disney should put into place because they have like a weird amount of policing at Disney on if you've put in a mobile order, right? They won't like let you into the space if you've put one in. But they
Yeah.
have a weirdly less amount of policing on like you're waiting for your food and holding a table. I don't know, but I know specifically the location I'm talking about, and I wish that they would do this is Woody's Lunchbox. It's impossible to find seating, and if you ever have been to Woody's Lunchbox and you look around, a lot of the tables are people sitting waiting for their food to be ready. They're literally
Yep.
just sitting at an empty table, and you go over and you're like, "Oh, you're almost done," and they're like, "No, I'm holding for my party of like 18," and you're like, "Okay, well, my food's ready." So I think they could move that space.
Yeah.
I think we could move people through that space a lot better. It is such a tiny space, so yeah. But a lot of quick service. Like when we went to Starlight Cafe the other day, a lot of people just wait for their food to be ready.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I understand why you're waiting. You want a table when your food is ready, but I think people don't realize that it holds up everyone else. Like you would have a table if other people weren't
Correct.
holding tables.
Right. It's the
So
holding
yeah, it
of the
goes to the
table
holding.
that makes it impossible for you to find a table.
Yeah,
Yep.
holding space in line, holding table. It's
Everybody just waited, there would be tables.
yeah, it backs
Yeah.
up just like the line thing. It backs up the whole day. It just
It slows down the whole process. I agree.
Yeah, because those people sitting at the table, I mean, maybe they have a party of 8 and their food's not going to be ready for another 30 minutes. Meanwhile, I'm standing here with my
so quick.
one thing of chicken nuggets.
Right.
Let me just eat this, in 5 minutes and I'll be out of your way.
Yep.
But
yeah.
It doesn't work that way.
Yeah. So PSA.
That's okay.
Wait.
I know.
But no one will listen.
Just wait. Just a little bit.
There you go. There you go. All right, Jessie, do you have a spicy one?
What?
Do you have a spicy one?
I do.
Okay.
I have one about strollers. Oh. So, Kristen, I know you love your strollers.
I love a stroller. I'm not even a mom, and I wish I had.
I also love a stroller, but please don't let your 5-year-old drive your stroller. Correct. When you're in Magic Kingdom and there's people around you. Can I tell you how many times? Can I tell you how many times I've gotten hit by a 5-year-old who can't even see over the stroller handle?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, it's adorable. Yes, your 5-year-old is helpful. Thank you so much. Please don't do it in a Disney park.
Get your photo and then let the adult take over.
In a crowded area. At least, at minimum.
If you want your little 5-year-old to go in circles in the back of Storybook Land, by all means, go ahead.
Yeah.
Fine. But don't do it through Main Street.
No.
Or by the castle.
No.
Please.
No, I agree.
Because I've gotten hit. I have scars, literally scars, on the backs of my ankles.
Getting rammed.
Yes.
Yeah. I feel the same way about like grandparents who put the kid on their lap and let them drive the UCV.
Yes, I agree.
I saw that. I saw that at Epcot yesterday.
Same thing. That's a vehicle. Don't see that.
It's a vehicle.
No, it's dangerous. And it's like a really heavy vehicle.
Allowed. They're not legally allowed to drive that vehicle.
No, I agree with both of those. My 8-year-old will sometimes be like, let me push it. And I'm like, no way. Like, not happening. It's too crowded, or like, no.
If you want to push it on the way to the car, by all means.
Yeah.
But not in the park.
No, not when it's crowded and there's people around you. It's just too many things can go horribly wrong in that situation. I totally agree.
So many times. Yeah. So that's a hot spicy one for me, because like I said, I love me a good stroller, but like double strollers I end up tripping over because they're just too big. They can't fit through the doors, the wide ones, not the long ones. And then when kids drive them, I'm like, why are you
wonky?
Yeah, very wonky. I love a stroller, but I understand why they can't, but I feel like it should. They do. They limit the size, right? Like there are things that you can't do, but I don't feel that they
limit the size.
Yeah, I don't feel that they enforce that, because there's still people there. I saw one the other day with like a big wagon, and I understand if you have a child with a disability that needs something like that, that's a completely separate issue, and that's not what I saw. This is just like somebody breaking the rules and nobody said anything to them, and I'm like, I don't know about that, because it's just like it.
There you go.
When it's really crowded, it could be dangerous for other people, and
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, I get it, but I don't get it.
Yeah.
Just don't break the rules.
Yeah, just don't break the rules. I think that's
that one's pretty simple, actually.
Yeah, like these things don't stand up on like the rides when they tell you to sit down. Like, just don't do that. It's easy. It's
simple.
They're telling you to sit down. Just sit down. Don't jump out of Living with the Land to grab something. Don't put your hands and arms outside the vehicle. Like, these are just like being a human and safety 101. And I don't understand why sometimes you have to hear a cast member say it 600 times.
And that's another thing for me. So I was on Living with the Land the other day, and I don't know who it was. I don't know if it was an adult or a kid. Who knows what age it was, but somebody was messing around on Living with the Land, and they're watching you. They come over the loudspeaker. They say, please keep all your hands and feet inside the boat at all times. Please stay seated while you're inside the boat, blah, blah, blah. And it's disruptive. I'm trying to listen to my bird chirping and my water falling and my fishies talking.
I'm trying to live with the land.
I am trying to
I agree with the talking on the right, yes.
I want to hear the pan flutes. Let me just enjoy it. Instead, you keep putting your arm outside the boat, and the loudspeaker is like, hello, please don't do that. Every 2 minutes.
It's annoying.
Follow the rules. Let me enjoy my ride. you can enjoy your ride.
Yeah.
By all means, it's really not that hard.
I have another
Yes.
one. It's not terribly spicy though.
That's
Okay.
okay.
My next one has to do with Disney itself. So
Yeah,
what
mine
is
does
yours?
have to do with Disney itself too, not crowds. So
Okay.
mine is
Okay.
I don't they're trying to, I guess, cut down on the photo pass photographers. So in some of the photo character ones that I've been to lately, they have the box. It's not an actual photographer. And I just feel like
What?
this is not the point
No. It's
of
they've had
they
those.
have had
They
those, but I'm
released
seeing
them.
more of them now.
I'm also seeing more of them. They released those in 2019 because
I
I
did
was
not know
still a
this was a thing.
PhotoPass, and they actually took away some of our like favorite locations. So Frozen, for example, when you meet Anna and Elsa, that's a box. When you meet Mickey in the Magic Kingdom, that's a box. There's no more PhotoPass photographers there since 2019.
Yeah.
What?
So
Yeah.
yeah, we did Adventurers Outpost in Animal Kingdom lately, and it was a box. And the last time I was there, the
It's a box.
boxes were there, but they weren't operational. They still had a photo pass photographer there. No, I haven't done it
For
Yes.
in
everyone
a
listening,
while,
could you see
but
my
it
mouth
was
when open?
a full on box now, and I'm like, I just feel that and they are snapping the whole time, but I'm sorry, that's
It's
not a
not the
replacement
same.
for an actual photographer who knows how to frame a photograph. Like the
And get
photos just
angles and
weren't
get,
as
yes.
good, because my son
I
is
don't
not
know.
looking where
That's
my daughter's
sad.
looking, and it's like I'm waiting in line. I'm spending all this money to be here. You can't get a live person in here to snap some photographs of me and my family? Like,
Well, it's all
come
about
on.
money budget cuts for them, but that's I don't like that's sad. I
I
didn't
don't like
know.
it.
Clearly, by my shock, I was sitting here with
Yeah.
my mouth open the entire time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
do better,
I don't
Disney.
love
Come
that, and
on.
it's also yeah.
Yeah, I really don't like that they've done that. It's really really disappointing because again, like Kristen said, like they're not framing a picture. Like that's not it's just snapping, and also the lighting on it is rather dark. It's
I thought
not
so
like
too. Yeah, the
yeah,
lighting was
it's not
not.
like a human with a flash. I'm going to show you this picture that I got when I was at Epcot, and I will say a box would not have been able to take this picture, and I will also post it on our thing. But like
Yeah.
I have one of those too, where it's like perfect. Yeah,
Yeah.
David and I have one
it's
in
The box
Christmas house
can't
amazing,
do
and
together.
that.
the box
No,
can't do that. And that's
no.
the thing, like
That's what I'm
it's
saying. They
it's
can't get
Goofy and
close
Mickey
ups. They can't.
smushing me, and like
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
it's just not the same.
No, it's just
Sometimes a lot of the times too, the characters will like kneel with your kids, and like that would be a time when a photo pass person. And sometimes the engagements and stuff, you never know. And if, for instance, if someone's planning an engagement or they're planning, maybe a surprise for one of their kids, and you walk in and it's a box, now you're like, because you kind of want to work with the photo pass person on that. Like, I don't love that, and I
no,
didn't know it was a thing.
it was
I'm
so
not a
irritating
fan.
yesterday, and I was like, there was so many great interactions that like I had with the characters and that my kids had, and I feel like none of that was captured because it was a box. And it's like,
Yes.
why am I paying money? And again, I will pay for Memory Maker because I think that it's worth it when there's
Me
an
too.
actual
I have
human
it.
being taking photographs of me and my family to treasure forever. But the
Hmm.
box, it ain't it. Mm-mm.
Nope.
Nope.
Yes. Agreed.
I
All
know.
right, yeah. What was your
All right,
Okay.
Disney
yo.
related peeve?
Yeah.
My Disney related peeve. There's two. One I will like glaze over, which is just the entertainment cuts we've seen over the last few years. I am not someone who enjoys rides, so like I would like to see so much money put in entertainment, and there's so much good talent in Orlando. So I think it's worth it to have that. I think the lines that we saw when Phantasmic returned showed us just how important entertainment was. And then so that's a very brief one. I just want to throw in. But my main one is I am very sad as we continue with technology and things to see like the rise of lack of spontaneity on vacations is what I'll
Mm-hmm.
say. It's a big pet peeve I have with Disney. I don't feel like it's fair to make parents wake up at 7 a.m. to get cues and everything. I don't think it's fair. I do not think it's fair if you are already spending so much money on vacation to be so confused by the planning aspect of it and to
I
have to
know.
predict where your kids might want to eat at 7 p.m. or 6 p.m. Like you should be able to still have a spontaneous vacation the way you want to in the place that you love. And unfortunately, if you don't plan everything with Disney, you are left eating french fries and chicken fingers and also like maybe not getting on the e-ticket rides that you want to go on. And I don't think it's fair. And I
Yeah.
could talk about it till I'm blue in the face. But
No, I completely get that. When I first moved to Orlando pre-COVID, like it was so different because you were able to make a spontaneous trip. You were
Yep.
able to grab a spontaneous reservation. If I wanted to eat at Sci-Fi on a Wednesday after I just got off a shift, I could, and it wasn't hard.
Yep.
Now it's like, okay, I just had friends in town. Yeah, I just had friends in town, and a month ago I was like, "Hey, do you guys want to do something?" And they were like, "Yeah, let's do something." I was like, "All right, cool. Let me grab you a brunch reservation." A month ago, because we had to plan it.
Yeah.
Like it's not as easy as it used to be, and I
No.
unfortunately miss the way that it was.
I
But
had a hard time getting dining reservations pre-COVID, and I think that's because
really,
of the dining plan. And so, yeah, I had a hard time because remember it used to be 180 days out, and like
yes,
I would try to be spontaneous and I couldn't usually get what I wanted to. I've had a lot of luck recently doing a dining reservation maybe 24, 48 hours before, but again that's because
yeah,
the dining plan is not a thing right now, so people aren't booking
yeah,
Cinderella's Royal Table. They're not booking some of these, and some of them are still hard, right? Like I can't get Space
Yes.
220 to save my life. I've been trying to get
me
Sci-Fi
neither.
Dine-In because I think my son would like it, and I'm having a hard time. Like there's still ones that are difficult. They're different than they were post, like pre-COVID,
Yes,
which is bizarre. But now I'm
very
interested to
different.
see, now that the dining plans are coming back in January of 2024, like I'm going to try and get Cinderella's Royal Table one more time like this year, because I don't know that I'm going to be able to get that again, because
Yeah.
Yeah,
now it's going to go back to, okay, well I'll just spend 2 dining credits, and people are like, cuz right now people don't want to book that one because they don't want to pay upfront
Yeah.
out of pocket for it, which I
it's a
get. I
lot.
don't either. But here we are. But
Yeah.
now with the dining plan they'll be able to do that again, so I'm interested to see. We'll have to do an episode in January, like, are these dining reservations
Did
harder
it
to
come
get,
back?
like
Yeah.
track it, because
Yeah,
I'm just interested to see like how that is going to pan out now that they're bringing it back, and if it's going to like
Yeah.
peter back now, so
Yeah, and it's, I don't know, there's two things to that. Like there's, as somebody who works in hotel and restaurants, I cannot imagine telling a guest that was staying at my property, "Oh, you actually can't eat at any of our sit down restaurants because they're all filled up." And I understand that you could be staying, at the an All-Star, you could be staying off property, but that is unheard of outside of Disney World. You can't do that. You have to save reservations for in-house guests. You don't put all your and they don't do that, and I think that's wild.
yeah,
And I don't
it is.
think a family, if it's your first vacation, you might not know that. You might think, "Oh my god, goodness, that's awesome. There's Boma on property, there's Jaico," and then you find out you can't. Like that sucks if you're unaware. And then to that same frame of thought, if you are a family visiting maybe from your first time from out of state and you are not so Disney obsessed that you are following every blog at all times, every story like I am, then
Yeah,
you're not going to know that maybe Tron's opening on April 6th and your kid literally just wanted to ride Space Mountain. And then you go to make a reservation the week you're here and you're like, "Oh, I can't get into Magic Kingdom." And now my entire plan, the dining reservations, everything I made are all
yeah,
wonky because now I have to go to Epcot that day instead. And I have my Epcot reservations. Like, I do not think it's fair to other people that aren't just as dialed in. And I don't think you should have to, like, you should be able to take a vacation. So I
yeah,
just, the research that is required of families, I can't imagine is relaxing at this point. And
no,
yeah, I can't imagine it is, like, I don't know because I'm not booking for 6 people, but it's one of the reasons I'm not doing a lot of my bachelorette activities at Disney World because I'm not willing to plan for 10 people and do all of that. So, but
no,
it just sucks. So
it does.
I
I
know that it
know.
helps them forecast. I know as an operator that it helps them staff, it helps
yeah,
them schedule, and I get it. But I don't think it helps the consumer. So
Yeah, no, I get it.
yeah,
Well, that is it for our pet peeves.
yeah,
I
yes,
mean, we just named a ton of good ones. That was awesome. Again, I'm sure we're gonna think of more as the time goes
yeah, there'll be
by.
a part
Well,
2 on this one, so
oh yeah,
there
because
will
there's
definitely, because
more.
we could just keep going and going, and it's just there's so many pet peeves out there, especially when it comes to theme
yeah,
parks. And we'll get
Yeah,
into other theme parks too. For now, we kind of stuck to Disney, a little bit of Universal, but we'll
yeah,
definitely have a part 2 of this episode because it's fun. And I would also love to hear you guys' pet peeves.
yes,
So
yes.
again, we'll do a poll on that, hear some of your pet peeves, and
I'm
see
excited for
how
that.
that goes on our socials because I'm really
yeah, me
curious to
too,
see.
Yes.
me too.
I
What we've
know,
learned from this episode
but
is just be kind if you can.
I
Yeah,
know,
be
just be kind.
kind,
Be
Just be
kind.
nice to
be
everyone.
nice.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, again, thank you guys for listening. If you have listened to this, you get 10% off of our store, shopthenicheco.com, with code podcast10, and that is 10, not TEN.
Yes.
But thank you guys again. We're so happy to be here, and we love and appreciate you and all your support.
Thank
Thanks,
you so
guys.
much.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.